Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be in the world, and welcome to this week's Gift of Healing TV. I'm Sarah Jane, your hostess, and this week we have the great pleasure in welcoming Gisa Ellis. She's joining us. I did say that right, didn't I? We've just been asking this question. We've just been talking about this. I want to pronounce people's names correctly.
Sounds all right. So far, so good.
So let me share a little bit about Gisa for you, and then we're going to introduce her and ask her to share a little bit for herself. This week we are Gisa is sharing Ho'oponopono, the art of letting go. So I hope that you will enjoy this, and that please, for anybody that's watching live, please feel free to let us know you're there, to share your experience of this once we've gone through the exercise, and ask me questions. So please feel free to ask questions. All right. Gisa has been successfully involved in running businesses in various sectors and countries over the years. However, she always felt passionate about empowering people to find their own voice and to create the life they truly desire. So when Gisa recently reshuffled her life cards, it meant personal changes and the creation of the international online advisory platform www.gilva.com, connecting professional experts with female clients via online video consultations. Gisa's vision is to create a safe place for women to be inspired to find the answers they are looking for and to share with other women, even if they live in different locations and environments. When not traveling, Gisa lives in Cape Town, South Africa, but she also spends some of her time in Europe, mainly the UK. When not working, you may find her behind a book or outdoors, always close to a gym, friends, fun, spiritual stuff, and good, healthy food.
Yes, Gisa, I didn't mention the wine.
Welcome to Gift of Healing TV, and thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much, Sarah, for having me tonight, and thank you everybody for listening in. I really appreciate your time, and I hope you find it interesting what I have to share with you tonight.
Oh, I'm sure we will, because I'm really looking forward to this.
Oh, good.
We've got Karen here from Paris, one of our regulars. So welcome, Karen. Anybody else who wants to let us know they're there, please do. It would be lovely to hear from you. So, Gisa, share a little bit about how you got involved with the likes of Ho'oponopono.
Okay. Well, first of all, I would like to say that I've been on a conscious spiritual journey basically all my life. And even when I was little, I used to go to church on my own to pray because I felt there's someone up there who I knew would understand me. And, so the searching continued. And over the years, I've met some great teachers. And I was introduced to various ways of how to develop yourself and how to develop yourself spiritually, to overcome your ego, as you know, and we all know it's a very difficult thing, and to walk further on our spiritual path. And I learned that however different these methods are, they ultimately all lead us back to the same source. And it always strikes me also that the greatest teachers in the history of mankind are the most humble ones. And I'm not only talking about the famous prophets of the world religions, I also talk about the many teachers who have been walking the earth, doing their work like for the spiritual evolution of mankind. And a lot of them, they're fairly unacknowledged and not even recognized in a lot of ways. And in this search for, and in experiencing with different ways and different methods with meditation and all that, at some point I stumbled over Ho'oponopono, and what I really what I find so amazingly interesting and catching was someone told me about Ho'oponopono and about these amazing results they had with practicing this very simple technique, but also it did strike me that it was actually so simple, but yet so effective. And I think sometimes, because we're all very busy and we all have busy lives, we want to use a lot of time for our spiritual journey and on our spiritual path and the techniques and the exercises, but a lot of times we can't. So it did actually really it did really what's the English word, fascinate me that with like a small technique like that you can actually have such tremendous results.
But I think what we've all realised is the simpler things are, the more
Yes.
powerful they are.
Yes, that's true. Very true. I find that too. Yeah, yeah, sure. And yeah, and that's especially so with Ho'oponopono, and it's because it has been also around for many, many years in Hawaii, and it has been proven to be very practical in people's lives as a practical tool and a practical exercise in everyday life. That I found that extremely fascinating and extremely how do you say, beneficial for people, that they can have something they can use every day. So yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So obviously, this is I know I've heard about it before briefly, but I'm not really sure. I mean, I know it's the art of letting go, but
Yes.
can you explain a little bit about it before
Sure.
we actually go into experiencing it?
Sure. Yeah, sure. With pleasure. First of all, I would like to say that, as I mentioned before, Ho'oponopono is like an ancient healing system that has been around in Hawaii for many centuries. And originally, it was defined as a mental cleansing process and mainly used in families in the context of mutual forgiveness and reconciliation when there were issues in the family. And then in 1976, a lady called Morna Simeona, who was regarded as a healing priest, or they call him Kahuna Lapa'au. I don't know whether I pronounce this properly. I'm not Hawaiian, but anyway, something like that. And she adapted this traditional Ho'oponopono to what it is mainly known for today. So the basic principle of Ho'oponopono is that we are 100% responsible for everything in our life, no matter what, no excuses, no exceptions. And by accepting that responsibility, we can actually change our lives and the circumstances we live in. And if I would like to share a little story with you, which I find quite amazing, because this was actually the story which made Ho'oponopono famous or spread in the world, because it's such an incredible story, and it highlights the principle. If that's okay,
Yes,
can I go
yes,
ahead and do
carry
that? Right. And basically, it's a story of a gentleman called Dr. Hu Len, and he's Hawaiian, and he's a former student of Mona Simeona, and he actually worked for 4 years as a psychologist in a high security wing of a psychiatric hospital for the criminally insane in Hawaii. That's quite many years ago. He's now, I think he's in his 70s now. And the amazing thing was that he never actually saw the inmates for sessions or treated them personally. So he basically, what happened, he agreed to have an office and to review the inmates' files. And while he looked at those files, he would work on himself. And as he worked on himself, the patients over time began to heal. And I would like to quote him because I find it quite amazing, and I hope you do too. What he says is, after a few months, patients that had to be shackled were being allowed to walk free. Others who had to be heavily medicated were getting off their medications. And those who had no chance of ever being released were being freed. Not only that, but the staff began to enjoy coming to work. Absenteeism and turnover disappeared. And we ended up with more staff than we needed because patients were being released. And all the staff was showing up to work. And today, this ward is closed. I mean, I find it amazing. And he says that, he also quote again, I was simply healing the part of me that created them, meaning the inmates. I mean, I find it incredible. And what he means is that we have to take full responsibility for everything we experience and go to the origin of an issue or a challenge and ask ourselves the questions. What is going on in me that I experience this, and what is going in me in me that I create this experience? So basically, what he says is that a lot of people, they never get to actually make conscious choices or to get to answer the question, who am I? Because what he says, all the experience that we, in his view, that all the experience we have is a consequence of the data playing out in our subconscious based on our past experiences. So we are basically, a lot of the times, unless we cleanse that, we are, and then can open us up to the universe, we're actually kind of driven by our data playing out in our subconscious. So that means, say, for example, if you perceive someone like being as arrogant or someone being as whatever, a lot of the times it's your own experience or perception. It's actually sometimes not even have something to do with the actual person itself. Sorry, I'm rambling on. I'm getting excited here now.
No, but exactly. How many times have I heard this? Have we all heard this? If something shows up in your life that affects you,
yes,
don't put any blame or any. It's not about that person. Look inside. What is it that you are being nudged about? What are you being told about that's within yourself that is causing this?
exactly.
So it's, you know, sort of, if somebody or something has made you angry, why?
Yes.
What is it within you? If somebody's made you jealous or somebody's, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter what the feeling is. So I'm not even necessarily going to say emotion, because I suppose emotion is feeling. If you are feeling other than relaxed and calm and chilled and go with the flow, as we were having this situation because we struggled to get you on tonight.
Exactly, I was talking about that. Yeah, quite right.
The joy of technology, it's, why is it doing this? I don't know.
Exactly.
Help, please. And it worked, because I can't see the point of stressing about it.
Yeah, you were so calm, amazing.
So it's very much about, so what you're saying is it is about us looking inwards. Why have these things, why is this person shown up? What gift are they bringing to us for us to look? And it is a gift. You know, it may not feel like it.
No, it might feel like pain, but it's a gift, yes.
Yes, I'm not sure most of us would put that word gift on it, but absolutely. And just want to say hi to Catriona in the UK. She's let us know that she's joined us, so that's brilliant.
Lovely,
so, have you got anything more you want to share about this, or are you happy for us to go into experiencing it?
Well, a couple of things I would like to share. One is that I found a quote which I think is also
whatever you're moving. Can you not move it? We're hearing it on the mic.
Sorry. I found this quote, and I find that it fits in. It's by Katie Byron, and she states in her book, "All War Belongs on Paper." She says, "I'm the story of what you think you see." So, and I think that is such a beautiful quote, because that actually captures what we were just talking about. You know, that we that is all in our own experience. And the other thing I wanted to mention was that with Ho'oponopono, Dr. Yulin, he co-wrote a book with Joe Vitale, and they called it Zero Limits. It's quite an amazing book. I would recommend that for everyone to read. And they explain a little bit more about the technique of Ho'oponopono, further to what I can do here this evening. But basically, they explain that Ho'oponopono cleans the data in our subconscious, and then ultimately helps us to become free of that kind of repetition of that all being driven by this data, and so that we can open ourselves up to the universe and the messages and all the energy can freely come to us, so that we are really on our soul path now then, and be aligned.
And it is about us being on our journey, being on
Mm-hmm.
this roller coaster of life, because I
Yes.
do feel it's a roller coaster. It really is. But
Mm.
it is helping us to be able to jump on board life and say, bring it on. And
Yes.
when in that agitated, when we're feeling all those negative energies, we
Mm-hmm.
struggle. We may want to jump on board life, but we're in that place of don't really know whether I want to. Can I stay in my comfort zone, please?
Yes. Yes.
Only when that comfort zone is so uncomfortable that we actually have the courage to get out and wonder why we didn't sooner.
Yes. It's true. Yeah, very true. I can actually very relate to that because I did a lot of that last year. But
And
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think all of us have. And and
Mm.
if there are those people who are at the very beginning of their journey and they're thinking, yeah, it's all very well, but for you, but you've done it. Yeah, but we've
Mm.
all been in those places. Sort of, we've all had those things happen.
Mm.
End of marriages, ends of relationships, having to
Yes.
move houses, whatever places. We
Mm.
Everybody that is on this path, whether it's been an illness, whether it's been whatever it is, everybody has gone through something. There are very, very few people who
Mm-hmm.
have started their journey without that kick up the backside, without that something happening that
Mm.
it your initial reaction is, oh, my life's falling to pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But as Neil Donald Walsh says, perhaps when everything's falling apart, it's
Mm.
actually falling together. And I know
Yeah.
my own experience, and I was very lucky. I was very open to it, and I saw the positive side of it. I had no idea where it was leading, but I
Mm-hmm.
just knew. We've all had that feeling of if things falling to pieces, not knowing what's going to happen within the next few hours, let alone anything else,
Yes.
and it all working perfectly. So this
Mm-hmm.
this is this is another tool to help
Yes.
people to step outside that comfort zone, get rid of the box altogether. It's not just get
Yes.
outside the box, it's get rid of the box.
Yes. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. And I mean, I don't know. Should we? I probably jumped the gun here now. I'm German. That's what we do. Should I go into the practical side of things and explain a little bit how that works, or
By all means, a little bit of the practical, and then it would be lovely to experience it.
yes, of course, yeah. Um, Basically, to practice Ho'oponopono is a very simple way because you basically just repeat four phrases over and over again, but they're very powerful phrases, and I just want to just quickly to explain them. The first phrase refers to love because love is the most powerful thing in the universe. So the first phrase is "I love you." So you say that over and over again. Say it. It doesn't matter to who. It doesn't matter whether you say it to the tree or to whoever, to the world, to the universe. I love you. As it, just feel it and mean it. And the second phrase is referring to repentance, and basically because we are responsible for everything in our mind and everything in our experience in our life. That means that we naturally feel sorry at some point because we created something maybe for other people as well or for ourselves which we are sorry for. So this realization sometimes can be quite painful because we might even resist that we have to take this responsibility and feel sorry. But say, for example, if you have something, whether you're overweight or whether you're addicted to any something, or you just say you just concentrate on it and you say, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry for this," and you repeat that. The third the third sentence is referring to forgiveness. So you remember the remorse you felt in step number 2, and you say you ask for forgiveness. Please forgive me. And again, it doesn't really matter to who you say it or to but you have to mean it, and you have to say it over and over again. And the fourth one, and it's one of the most amazing phrases I think in the universe as well, is the phrase referring to gratitude. Thank you. So again, thank you for your experience. Thank you for everything I have. Thank you for my life. Thank you for the universe. Thank you for everything. So to recap, what you do is you mentally concentrate on a challenge or an issue, whatever you would like to change in your life, and you say these 4 sentences: I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And you repeat them over and over and over again. It almost becomes a meditation. And it is quite amazing what you will feel, what's going to change in your energy and what's going to change in your life. I mean, it's quite extraordinary, actually. So and I thought maybe we could just practice that.
Okay. Yeah. Quite happy to do that.
So I thought maybe we could just take 1 minute that everybody just thinks about one issue or one challenge or something in our life right now we would like to change. Just 1 minute to establish this one thing we would like to concentrate on. And then we could go into the practice.
Yeah.
Of my watch. Yeah, starting now.
And I'm assuming that this hasn't necessarily got to be something that is current. So if there's somebody who can think something that, yes, there was something that went back a while, that they'd like that to be the thing.
Yes.
Do that.
Yes. I mean, I give you a quick example while we're in this minute. My sister, for example, who has been going through a separation and going into divorce, and it was very difficult with her husband because he was very hurt and all that kind of thing. And then I introduced her to Ho'oponopono, and because they were supposed to go to a mediation, she said we were already 3 times and it didn't work and everything, you know. And then I said to her, why don't you try to do Ho'oponopono before you go? And it was amazing because she said it was the first time they actually met up and they could discuss something and find a result.
Yeah.
So that is, yeah. So I would like, if possible, if we could just like maybe again take a minute or so and try to concentrate on what it is, whether it's past or present or whatever it is, whether it's we would like to find a solution or a change, and repeat those sentences in mentally. You can say it aloud as well, but you know it's sufficient if you do it mentally.
I think for the purposes of this, I think the purposes of this, because hopefully people they're either in a group,
Okay.
or they are, you know, if you're watching the video on YouTube, whatever. Hopefully you're in a space or a place where you can actually do it out loud. Because to me, I've sort of always been taught that thought is powerful, but the spoken word actually has even more power.
It's true.
It gives it an additional energy. So I'm quite happy. So what you're saying is, I sort of sit here, and whether it's eyes, do you recommend eyes closed? Anything in particular?
It doesn't matter. You just have to concentrate. I mean, whatever people find more comfortable, you know, because you know, if now we can obviously in this situation close our eyes, but sometimes when you're actually out there and you find a challenging situation in your everyday life, you can actually do it mentally without, because then you can't have situations maybe where you not be able to close your eyes. So, but if you wanted to repeat it, you know, now loud, and see what that would be fine.
Okay, so you just literally you're mentally holding the situation, and then you're just repeating the actual words. So the I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And so do you repeat the 4, or do you repeat I love you several times, followed by I'm sorry several times? How?
Actually, it's the way it's taught is that you go through the 4 phrases and then repeat them. But in the literature, they also say that it doesn't really matter which phrase comes first and which. It actually has the same, because it's almost like a circle. It's a round thing. It doesn't really matter, but you say the first 4 phrases and then you repeat them over and over from the first to the 4th, again and again.
Okay. So if both of us do this, because obviously we've got people watching, and the people will watch the YouTube video and the replay. So yeah, we can't obviously have them literally join us.
No,
they,
no, that's true.
but they can join in with us while we're doing this. So if you
Yes.
want to lead us, that would be brilliant. So hopefully if people are holding whatever the situation or the person or whatever is, they're
Mm-hmm.
holding that thought. And then if you
Mm.
guide us with repeating those words, that would be brilliant.
Okay, I will do that. And also, the other thing is that it has to have meaning. You have to get into the spirit that it really means, that you mean what you say or mean what you think. It's not just kind of rattling it down. You have to put that meaning behind it. Okay. So
Yeah.
should we do that for a minute or two or?
Yeah, if we do it for a couple of minutes, and yes, of course, because I think obviously this is something that's new to me, but
Yes.
a couple of minutes will mean that we can repeat it several times, and obviously
Yes.
the more you say it, the more power you give to it.
Why don't you do it? Because you don't. I have introduced you to it now, so maybe you should say it.
Maybe we should both say it.
Oh, maybe we should. It gives it probably more power. Okay, let's do this.
And folks, those of you, whether you're watching live, whether you're with us live, whether you're watching the replay, whether you're watching the YouTube video, please join in with us both as we do this.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
that would be brilliant.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, yeah, and we can all feel it, I'm sure. Okay.
Okay,
I love you.
I love you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there's anybody who would like to share how that felt, you can share what the experience or the person, if you would like. And I am going to share. And I know I've done an awful lot of work, but actually the person that was to was my younger self.
Oh.
To the younger me at the time that I changed my name from Jane to Sarah.
Okay.
So for those of you who know my story, if you want to go and check out my story, it's in the earliest programs. But I changed my name, and I learnt years later that actually the only person who'd rejected me was me. And so I've done a lot of work on myself, connecting with my younger self, with my inner child. And when those four phrases came up, I thought, and I know that my younger self is comfortable, is happy. I know there was last year a block, at the time, actually with the brand new Sara, because
Yeah.
I'd been up to that point. And maybe this has helped, I knew it was starting to clear, but I didn't know whether it had totally cleared. And I
Mm.
just thought, this is for my younger self at that time, at the change of name, for Jane
Mm.
and for Sara.
Mm.
Because I did it to myself, and
Mm.
very much about letting myself know I love me. That is
Mm.
absolutely essential. We should all let ourselves know
Exactly.
that we
Yes.
love ourselves. The minute you
Yes.
said that sentence, it was, yes, the person you should be saying that to is yourself.
To yourself, exactly.
And the I'm sorry, yeah, because I hurt myself. Actually, within everything that we
Mm.
do, that we end up with pain, with hurt. I know it, there are so many people that, but I didn't do that to myself. We do, because we take on, we allow other people to hurt us. We don't
Mm.
have to take on that hurt and pain. It's their stuff. So
Mm.
it's apologizing to ourselves for doing that. It's also the forgiving of ourselves for doing that. So please forgive me. It made so much sense. And the
Mhm.
thank you. Thank you for this, and thank you for the experience. Hopefully I won't do it again.
Thank you for sharing that. I just saw that Karen said, "Great idea to do it together." I could feel the sensations getting stronger and stronger in my feet, and that's what happens. And when you do it, you feel the energy. Thanks for sharing that, Karen. And I would be so interested, for the people who listen in, to maybe do that with a certain issue over the next 48 hours and see what actually happens in their life. And I would be so very much interested to hear, how you got on and what it actually meant and what it actually changed in your life. Because for me, it has a lot of times has changed quite circumstances quite dramatically, actually.
And I'm assuming that this could work with a work situation. So if you've got somebody you don't get on with at work, or you feel you're under pressure at work, and yeah, and very much some people feel, and I suppose I've got to the stage where actually it's me taking on other people's stuff, so
Mm.
help me to let go of that.
Yes.
Um, and so that's important. But maybe it is about, when if you're in the right space, it's okay, this is about me loving me
Yes.
apologizing to myself, forgiving myself, and me saying thank you to myself. And whether people were watching, there was, I think, with all of that, even with the I'm sorry and the please forgive me, I think I
Mm.
got an element of a smile, because I was feeling the love of it, not
Mm.
the negative energies that can sometimes go around saying those words, I'm
Mm.
sorry and forgive me.
Mm.
So
Yes.
does that, but everybody's got to come at this from the direction that's right for them. As you said,
Yes.
was it your sister did this to for towards her husband?
Yes. She did that towards her husband with a thought to manipulate him. But because when we talked about it, I tried to explain to her that the fact that he acts and feels the way he does is something she created in herself. So she is responsible for this experience in her life. She's responsible for that situation. So that's why when she did the whole open up, and I try to explain to her that she has to concentrate on herself to heal it in herself, not to work on him, but to actually work on herself. It's nothing to do with him at all. At all. What he does is totally that has nothing to do with it. It has to do with herself, to cleanse it in herself. And that's why he changed his approach in that particular session they had together with the mediator. That's why he changed his approach, not because of him, but because she actually changed something in herself. And that's the
And
beauty of it.
yeah,
Mm.
when people, and I'm not saying this of your sister, this is a general, because
Yeah, sure.
this is how I was. Okay, so this isn't reflecting on anybody. I'm
Mm,
talking my own personal experience here. Because I felt really insecure,
mhm,
unworthy. Why would anybody want to love me? I have got two ex-marriages, two ex-husbands. I've got sort of married, two marriages
yeah.
behind me. Um, I have I then now's totally different. But
Mhm,
then, and I didn't realize this, I never expected a relationship to last. So,
mhm, mm,
if somebody loved me, it was never going to last. It's
mm,
because of what happened to me as a child, and there's no
mhm,
blame. You
yeah,
know, I'm not blaming anyone, but it's
mm,
because I never expected love to last.
mhm,
I It was a self-fulfilling prophecy. I
yeah,
helped create the end of my marriages because that is
yeah,
what I expected to happen.
yes, yeah, yeah. That's very that I can relate to that actually. Yeah. You see, when you maybe read the book Joe Vitale wrote with together with Dr. Yulen, they go a step further even. They say that anything you experience in the outside is actually created in yourself. Not only what something which is related directly to your life, but say for example, if you go out on the street and you see someone hitting his dog, really badly, they say even that is something you created in yourself. I mean, this is very hard to digest. I mean, for me, I have to say, because I think to myself, wow, I don't have anything to do with that. But when he eats when he eats his poor dog or something, but they say even that is created in you. So they go really far. They say like total responsibility for everything you experience, for everything, even like our blips earlier to get us on the thing. And that is quite a concept to kind of swallow, I have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I do struggle with that one, and I just totally trust, because I do believe in we have many mythical friends. One of those is the gremlin, and the gremlin is known for helping sort of muck up electronic equipment. So
Yeah.
bless the gremlin, who I do see as a friend, because there are always reasons for it. But Marie has said, repeating this helps the emotion and intention to build. Alone, I can see that it could be more powerful, because for me, not saying it together was distracting. And that's fair enough. I think because this is a program, it was
Mhm.
very much about us having, because if we'd have all sat here silently doing it,
Mhm.
it wouldn't make much of a program, sort of. So
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
really helping people to realize that it's the words, and it's not "I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you."
Hmm.
It's a matter of putting the meaning behind the words, putting feeling behind the words. Am I right in that?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It is, or it's about the intention, and it's about the meaning, and it's about the feeling, and yeah, not just rattle the sentences down. But as I said from the beginning, I mean, I find it so amazing that this is such a little tool, this is, when you look at it, it's just a little, this is kind of a tiny little thing. It's just 4 sentences and you repeat them. But it's just amazing how something so little, in quotation mark, can be so powerful. And as I said, I would be very interested over the next few days to hear how people who hopefully will practice it in their everyday life, how they experience it. I mean, I know like a lovely lady called Jennifer who works with me. I mean, she has introduced it. She uses it, and she has introduced it to her sons who are under 10, and especially one of them, I think, especially one of them called David. he took it on, and there are certain, when you look on there's certain music created as well around the four sentences, and sometimes he says to his mom that he wants to listen to the music with the singing, you know, of these four sentences, because before he goes to bed, because he finds it really resonates with him, and I find it quite amazing, actually. So you can use it in all different kind of contexts. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I know I've heard of the Ho'oponopono before, and
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure that somewhere actually on my computer somebody's given me something that I can listen to. But this doesn't ring any bells at all. So is it used in other formats?
I think they have developed. There are certain further developments, you know, that there are with for example, with the original society in Hawaii, who actually kind of maintains the how do you say it, heritage of Mona Simeona. They have in certain pockets they have developed other things as well around it, like breathing exercises, or you know, like for example, as I said, the music. I mean, you know, the soothing music and things like that. But the actual core, the core of it all is that. Yeah. So that was the other things that just are built on that. And it would just be too much tonight to you know, to go into all of that, because I think it's quite important to experience the core form of that practice. That's just how I feel. I mean, everybody, you know, I mean, there are, as I said, there's there's this book of Zero Limits, for example, if people wanted to read any further on. There are some websites. One is called zerolimitsinfo.net, or for example ho'oponopono.org, and the actual society in Hawaii, you can find them under self-identity through ho'oponopono.com. So there are various you know, various information out there if someone's interested to go a bit further and learn a bit more.
Brilliant. And so do you want to just repeat the four sentences again for us, please, so that people can write them down,
Okay.
if they haven't already?
Yes.
If folks want to get pen and paper, and they can then they can write them down.
Yeah. Okay. So the four sentences are: I love you. Obviously, the first phrase referring to love, I love you. Then the second phrase, I am sorry. So basically remorse, repentance. The third phrase is please forgive me. So, and the fourth phrase is thank you. And I think I always love that phrase. My two favorite, I mean, I know I shouldn't have favorites, but my two favorites are I love you and thank you. Because that's so powerful, especially the gratitude, you know, for what you've got. So it's I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And yeah, I trust it will make, even though it's simple, it will make a big difference for you in your life.
Though that is brilliant. Thank you, and thank you for explaining so much about it, because I think with all of these things we can do them, but it's you know, what is it all about? And by getting a bit of an understanding behind it. If anybody wants to share any last comments or got a question, please do. But we are coming to the end of the program. So I want to say a really big thank you to you, sort of, Gisa. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the program. Thank you for coming on and sharing this.
Thank you so.
Really appreciate it. Any sort of final sort of comment that you would like to make and share with people?
I just would like to again just put a quote out again from Mona Simeona, and the quote is: "Clean, erase, and find your own Shangri-La. Where? Within yourself." That was one of her quotes. And please, if you wanted to share with me your experience, please email me on gisa@gilwa.com. I would be very, very pleased to hear from you. And also to welcome you on my new site and be part of our community of people who we all want to make a difference in the world, and I think that's for all of us quite important. So, if you feel like it, please be part of us. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining us. And a comment from Karen. Thank you to both of you for sharing such valuable information. This is why I do this, Karen, so that people can find out, and hopefully people will go and find out more about what Gisa does and more about her Ho'oponopono, because go and explore this site. What we share here is about people being able to learn a little bit so that you can go and decide whether you want to learn more. That's what it's all about. And so thank you so much for sharing with us this week. What I am going to do is I am going to put Gisa's website address. It's on the giftofhealingtv.com website. Under the About Us page, you will find a little bit of information about her up there, and her website address is underneath, so that you can go and find her there. After this video's gone up overnight, it will also go under the YouTube video, so you can connect with her there. So if you're looking at the YouTube video after tomorrow morning, it will be up on there as well. So that people can connect with you. Your information will be up on our website for another week, but I will also put the YouTube video of this. I'll put a link to that onto the website, so it's a permanent record up there, so that people can go and find it. So that will happen. Okay. So next week, folks, we are being joined, technology permitting. We've had fun and games with that again today. With Caroline Carr, and she's going to be sharing "Let the Sun Shine In."
Wow, that sounds
really looking forward to that.
Yes.
So please do think about joining us again next week. Gisa, thank you so much for joining us this week. Have a wonderful week, all of you. Love, peace, and light to you all.
Thank you so much, Sara, for your amazing work, and thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. And have a great week. Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure. Namaste, folks. Namaste.